Long ago, in a land where the heavens bowed to touch the roots of creation, there grew a tree unlike any other, vast and eternal. Myrrathen stood at the heart of the world. Its roots delved deep into the earth, while its branches stretched skyward, weaving the light of the heavens into the very fabric of existence. Myrrathen was a covenant between two noble forces, Orrakyn and Sylvana. Together, they shaped a harmony that sustained all of life beneath its boughs. In the earliest days, when Myrrathen's balance was whole and unbroken, its essence overflowed into the world. From that overflow, the first people were born. They were not shaped from wood or stone, nor from wind or flame, but the very essence of the tree, a reflection of its unity. Within each of them, Myrrathen placed a spark of its sacred flame, the gift of strength to shield, and the gift of nurture to create. They were the stewards of the tree, reflections of its harmony, and heirs to its balance. For ages, Myrrathen stood tall, its flame burning brightly within its heart. But something unseen began to creep into its roots, an aberration, hidden and persistent, threading like a quiet sickness. The roots of Myrrathen began to tense, and its spirits grew uneasy. The strength of the tree felt its grip slipping, while Sylvana grew strained in its efforts to sustain life. The aberration whispered through the tree like a sickness, wearing away at its foundation. The voice of the aberration was faint at first, so quiet it seemed almost part of the wind. It did not shout. It murmured, weaving itself into the tree's thoughts.
Why do you depend on one another? Wouldn't you be stronger alone?
The spirits of Myrrathen began to hear these whispers, their unease amplifying the doubts they carried. Orrakyn, strength of the tree, thought, I hold us upright. Without me, the world would crumble. Sylvana, the nurturing spirit, replied,
I give life. Without me, nothing would grow.
As the whispers continued, the spirits began to notice changes in Myrrathen. The roots grew tense and strained, and the branches no longer reached as high. The golden leaves dulled, and the blossoms withered before they could bloom. But rather than seeking the cause together, the spirits turned their frustrations toward one another. This is your fault, said Orrakyn. You've grown too soft to support us.
No, this is your fault,
said Sylvana.
You have become rigid and unyielding.
Blame took root where harmony once flourished, and their bond, once seamless, began to unravel. As their unity weakened, Myrrathen began to falter further. The seasons grew unpredictable. Storms came unbidden, and the soil grew restless. People who had lived in peace under the tree's shelter for generations began to quarrel, each convinced their way was right. They'd forgotten the balance they once shared and began to reflect the division of the tree. From the fading heart of Myrrathen, something new emerged. Its birth was not wicked, but withered, born of the tree's own disconnection, a fragment of what it once had been. This being became known as the Drifted, neither whole nor lost, the drifted wandered the land, a being shaped by the blame and doubt that had taken hold of the tree. Its whispers echoed the same divisions. To the strong, it said,
"You must stand alone. You don't need others."
To the nurturing, it said,
"You must guard yourself. Others will take advantage."
The drifted was not cruel, but sorrowful, carrying the weight of its fragmentation. Its whispers spread slowly, like a gentle mist that clouded the hearts of those who listened, deepening the disconnection in the world. But deep within the heart of Myrrathen, something remained. A small, steady flame burned, a remnant of the harmony that had once been. It waited, patiently, knowing that one day, two hearts might find their way back to it. These two were not warriors, nor were they sages. They were simply people who longed for something more. One carried the strength to protect, the other, the wisdom to heal. Though they came from different paths, they shared a desire to mend what was broken. The two travelers made their way to Myrrathen, guided by the whispers of the flame. Along the way, they faced trials that tested their resolve. The drifted appeared to them many times, offering promises of independence and safety. But they saw through its words, recognizing that strength without care becomes cold, and care without strength becomes fragile. When they reached Myrrathen, they stood before its fading light and placed their hands together on the tree's heart. The flame stirred, growing brighter, weaving strength and nurturing into one. Myrrathen began to heal, its roots softening, its branches rising once more to meet the sky. As Myrrathen healed, so did the land. The seasons found their rhythm, the storms quieted, and the soil grew rich and fertile. The people, seeing the tree restored, remembered the balance they had forgotten. They began to rebuild, not as individuals striving for dominance, but as a community working together. And the drifted, it lingered near Myrrathen, its whispers quieter now, as if it too longed to be whole again. It was no longer a shadow, but a reminder of how even the smallest cracks can grow, and how they can be mended when we choose balance over division. Even the strongest among us can grow weary, and in that weariness, whispers of doubt may take root. But vulnerability is not the end. It is the beginning of healing. If we choose to mend what has been frayed, strength and nurture are not opposites. They are partners, and when we honor this sacred dance, we heal not only ourselves, but the world around us.